Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. How's everybody doing? I pray that everybody is doing well and they are being safe out there in the midst of this pandemic and having a great, prosperous day. My name is Tammy Lilly. Welcome to the Tammy Lilly YouTube channel. Here on this particular station, we bring business owners, authors, anybody that's within business to help them get exposure. My movement is hashtag support begin support. It came from in Genesis. It talks about how the father begat the son or the child or what have you. And so that's where I got there from, because you cannot have the son without having the father. So you cannot get supported without supporting others. So hashtag support begins support. And I have a very awesome guest on with us today. But before we get started, make sure you click the subscribe button at the bottom, as well as hit the notification bell so you can get updates on whenever I upload new videos. So without further ado, we're going to bring on our very special guest, and we're going to start out by asking her to introduce herself.
Well, hello, everybody out there in YouTube land who are watching. Thank you so much, Ms. Tammy. Thank you. I am honored to be here and to be part of your show. Thank you so much. My name is Kenya C. Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Grace Girl, LLC. In the Midst Intercessory Prayer Ministries, as well as the Being Love in Action podcast, which is now we have over 7,400 followers and downloads on my podcast. It's been 2 years old, made 2 years old, actually, September 27th. And also I'm an author. I'm a mother, I'm a nana, and I'm a lover of love. Hashtag, they call me the agent of love. So that's who I am. I am a woman that wears many hats. And, you know, those hats have helped me to be who I am today. So yes, Kenya C. Williams is my name. People call me Rev as well. I am a minister, preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I've been doing ministry for over 10 years now. So that is who I am, just to wrap it all up in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, you're part of this the collaboration, stepping into our territory. And the young lady who's spearheading it is Miss Janelle Harris. Tell me, how did you come about meeting Miss Janelle Harris and getting a part of this wonderful project?
Well, shout out to Janelle Harris. First of all, I consider her my mentor. She is such an awesome woman who supports other women in business. She is also known as the marketing guru, the connector. I actually met her. I did not know her at all. I've been knowing Janelle maybe now, not even 6 months. So that's how powerful the connection is. I was actually supporting Erica Fulton, who is one of the my collaboration sisters, right? She was part of the book collaboration before I was. And I just, you know, whenever she does videos, that's why I like your slogan, Miss Tammy, you know, support begets support. I try to support my brothers and sisters whenever they have things going on, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook Live, whatever it is, I try to support. And so I was supporting her, you know, several times on videos. And then Janelle reached out to me, and so she asked me what I wanted. Did I want to be part of the book collaboration? And honestly, I wasn't sure. You know, I've never done a collaboration. You know, I am a writer as well and author, so that was my first time doing a collaboration. So I said, okay, let me pray about it, because I'm one that believes just because something comes to you, that doesn't mean you need to be a part of it, right?
All right.
So I prayed about it. A couple of days later, got back with her. And honestly, it has been life-changing for me. So I met her just being part of supporting one of my sisters. And then she reached out to me. She said, God just put you when I saw you. She said, and I thought about it for a few days. And when she reached out to me, it was just right. So that's how I met Janelle.
Awesome. I'm just loving this age of collaboration. It's just coming more and more. It's getting bigger and bigger, and I just love it. I love the camaraderie. I love the sisterhood. I love the whole thing that we're in right now, and I just I know it's going to keep going because it's going to get better and better and better.
Yes,
Okay.
and yes,
Oh, go
absolutely.
ahead.
When you say sisterhood, it is something that has really brought about what I believe an opportunity for women to come together and share not only their stories, but I've met so many talented women and gifted women that's part of this book collaboration. I'm like, oh my God, that's beautiful just
Yes,
to
ma'am.
get an opportunity to meet other women who are really, you look at them, they don't look like their story, they are
Mm.
moving and pushing forward. So that's one of the amazing things that I love about my experience with this book collaboration.
Awesome, awesome. Well, a lot of times, when we go through certain stages in our life, we start out one way. We always have a starting point whenever we started something. We start something, and whenever you get to that finish line, then it's supposed to be something, given to you something different to give you a change, a good change. So, writing and collaborating with this particular project, how did it change you?
Ooh, honestly, I've always been a author writer, since I was like in high school, or well, no, I'm gonna say younger than that, maybe in elementary, but I don't think I really knew the power of writing until I got like in middle school, because I would write like short stories and things like that. When you're writing, whether most of the times fictional things or just experiences or third party experiences, it's different. Sometimes as an author, you can just kind of flow. One of the things about the book collaboration for me was, okay, this is not just for me. I say, God, I prayed about it. I said, God, what am I to say? I believe that I'm pretty much so a transparent person. A lot of times when whether it's preaching, teaching, mentoring, I'm all about empowering and coming from that place inside that you can draw out those things that help you move forward. So I asked God, what is it that I need to share, right? As transparent as I am, I'm also very private, if that makes sense. I'm
Yes,
very
ma'am.
protective of my personal space, my children, my family, the intimate parts of me. So when I prayed and asked God, what am I going to talk about? What do you want me to say? Because, this book is going to be able to, it's global. It's going to be internationally going to all these different places and women and people. So what do you want me to say? And so the thing for me was, God wanted me to be vulnerable in this book, right? And I was like, what? You want me to talk about this? Like, are you serious? I mean, I literally, if you've ever had this experience with God, I talked to him just like we're talking. And of course, when he gave me what he told me, wanted me to write about, I was like, are you serious? Like, let me go back and let me pray and let me think about this again. And let me see if he's going to give me something else, right? And no, it made me relive some things in my life that I didn't talk about. I didn't really like to talk about. I might have scammed over it a little bit, but to really bring it out was something that I had not done, at least publicly, and very, very little privately. So for me, it brought out vulnerability in me, um, and it wasn't just, I was thinking, okay, God, what do you want me to give and share with other people, right? But it was for me. It was for me.
All
God said,
right.
I need you, because of where you are and where I'm bringing you. I need you to be more vulnerable.
Awesome.
And that's difficult
Yes.
when you come from a mind like mine. I'm very, I'm thinking I'm transparent, right? Come on, my sister, I'm transparent.
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
transparent. But then there are some times and some things that God reveals to us. No, you're not really as transparent. And you're not hiding it from yourself. You're not even hiding it from God. But what God wants you to understand, you are hiding it from him, because you're not bringing it to him. You're not open about it. You're carrying it in your own strength, which is a false sense of comfortable place, of that comfort place. It's false though. And so
Yeah.
what God did for me was require me to be vulnerable with the world. And then also in that, it released me to remove the veil in my life where I thought it was an open book with God, if that makes sense.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, it's just amazing how, in the midst of doing these interviews with a few young ladies that's doing the collaboration, it's almost like on some level you own a commonality, because I've heard that before, you know, and it's like it's amazing how I'm not talking to everybody together. It's not like somebody saying something and saying, "Oh yeah, I agree with that. That's something I felt too." Yeah, I'm hearing that from a lot of you. You know, a lot of things that you thought you dealt with, and you kind of buried it because you thought you dealt with it. But in talking about it and being transparent about it is resurfacing. And just because it was a while ago doesn't mean that the hurt is even less just because it was a while ago. And I did a project with another collaboration, and it's amazing how you're bringing up stuff that happened a long time ago and you thought you dealt with it. And I brought some things that happened with me um, in the past, you know, but you'd be amazed that, you know, you go through these things, you bury them off, you know, Lord, I made it through, and, you know, I'm here now. But if you just tell somebody else about it, or, you know, expose it into a book, you know, or in a project, you'll be amazed who you can bless, because there's a lot of people that go through a lot of similar things. Although everybody's story is different, a lot of our stories have commonalities with them, with the overtone of it, you know. So definitely thank you so much for being obedient to God. Even though, you know, God has a way, if he tells you to do something, you're going to do it one way or another. You're going to do it
Oh
willingly or
yeah,
unwillingly, kicking
yeah,
or screaming,
yes.
or, you know, okay, Father, I'm letting you lead me. That's
You
what
know,
God
and I
does it.
refuse. I'm not going to be like Jonah, so I refuse to go in the belly of anything. So guess what? I've learned enough to know that when God tells me to do something, even if I don't understand it, I'm going to do it. And the
Yes.
reality is there is freedom in being vulnerable. I thank God for
Yes.
the woman of God, Dr. Cecilia Sims, who is part of the collaboration, but she has a show, Walking Victory Ministries, a show, and she's been talking about freedom, right? And
Yes.
it is something about being able to just be authentically who you are and releasing everything and just being vulnerable
Yes,
and
ma'am.
coming outside of the box of religion or
Mm.
tradition, in the sense of it causes many of us, because, you know, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. But why would I have been so afraid to let go, you know, to
Mm.
the God I pray to every day, and to the God that I serve, and all of those things? Because many times we have this preconceived notion that we got to be strong, right? Especially as an African American woman, we have
Yes,
to wear
ma'am.
strength like nobody else. We got
Yes,
to
ma'am.
be successful in the workplace. We got to raise our children and our families and be
Say that.
successful when we are sick, when we're down. We got
Mm.
to put on our makeup and put on our power suits. And
Mm.
watch this, if we ain't got no makeup or no power suits, we still gonna make it work, okay?
All right.
And that is the strength of who we are. And that's a beautiful thing. But
Yes, ma'am.
the downside of it is it causes us many times, and this is all women that this happens to, but I'm talking now in particular about Black women, African American women, because we're told to be strong all the time, so we don't become vulnerable. So this book really helped me to relinquish that, right? If that makes
Yes.
sense. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All righty. Well, tell me about the other things that you have going on.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Wait, great. So I mentioned the podcast. The podcast is called Being Love in Action Podcast. I
all right.
started it 2 years ago. So September 27th made 2 years. Yay for the podcast. And so
Congratulations.
when I started the podcast, I didn't know anything about podcasting. It's an all audio podcast. Didn't know anything about it. I said, God, why do you want me to do this? Right? I said, who am I gonna get to listen to the podcast? You know? With little to no like real like promotion. You know, I
Uh-huh.
didn't really do anything beside, you know, promoting it on Facebook and you know, Instagram, but it wasn't anything that big that I was doing. And so you know, it was like, okay, how am I going to do this? You know, and I stepped out by faith. It is a podcast where I talk about, you know, it's called Being Love in Action podcast. You know, I am the agent of love. So things love, I'm a love girl. And I'm not talking about just in the Eros way. I'm talking about in the filial, the familiar, anything that has to do with us being better as lovers of Christ, and exuding that, and how we live it and how we apply it to our everyday lives. So that's what the podcast is about. And
Mhm.
like I said a little bit earlier, we're at like 7,400 followers and
Awesome.
downloads. That's amazing.
Yes,
Internationally, I
ma'am.
mean, you know, I have people in countries I can't even pronounce. You know, I have people
Awesome.
listening to the podcast in countries that are considered Muslim-based countries, right? Or Islamic countries. I mean, to have in some where their Christianity, or, you know, is certainly not um a religion that's looked, you know, like smiled upon. So I'm excited about that.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a prayer ministry where we've been praying for women and children. That's going on 3 years, where
Okay.
we have a group of women. Tuesday mornings we get together, 4:30 in the morning, and we pray for families and children and marriages. You know, I'm
Awesome.
no longer married, but I said, okay, God, you want me to pray for marriages? What, like, why? But you got to be obedient, right?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
and then of course there's the Kenya C. Williams Ministries. That's, you know, who I am and what I do. But one of my greatest accomplishments has been my recent um, business venture, which is Grace Girl LLC. Yes, for
All
Grace Girl.
right.
Grace Girl has um, manifested July 3rd. Okay.
All right.
And as a result, I created, God gave me the vision for Grace Girl 2013. I was at work writing. I mean, I wrote my first symposium, down to the music, down to the people, everything. And Grace Girl is so special to me because it is a company. Our slogan is transforming lives one heart at a time. And what Grace Girl is all about, we have professional services. That's one division. And with professional services, I am your virtual, premier virtual office support. So we coach your Zoom calls. We can create documents for your company. We can be that administrative assistant for you from a virtual
Right.
perspective. In the times now of COVID, a lot of companies are downsizing. You know,
Yes.
they no longer can afford to pay for someone to be in the office, you know, 8 hours a day. And or because of the COVID, they don't want to take the risk. So that's where Grace Girls, the professional services, come in. We do all of that for you. We take care
Okay.
of whatever your business may need, whether it's a small business or a larger business. We take care
All
of
right.
those things that make businesses work and run. So that is I'm sorry. Um you know, one of the things is that for the other side is the part of the business that is my heart. It is Grace Girl LLC Philanthropic Services. And that is where we do the mentoring. That is where I do the training. That is
All
where I
right.
give back to women. When God gave me the vision for Grace Girls, I have always been a person that have given back to others, you know, whether it's
Mhm.
widows, whether it's girls, whether it's other women, empowering them, encouraging them, inspiring them to be who they are, the better version of who they are, regardless of what they have experienced in life. And so
Awesome.
Grace Girls Philanthropic Divisions, that's what we do. And we are resources of communities where we will have women like Tammy Lily come in and, you know, share with the women and girls, because actually you are a Grace Girl as well. You know,
Thank
we
you.
are at the core those girls that have, you know, we dream, right, from little girls, and then we grow up with women, we still have dreams, right? And what Grace Girl does is we meet you, whether you're that 10-year-old little girl or that 48-old girl. And when I say girl, not in a disrespectful way, because we are the daughters of God. We are the beloved
Yes.
of God. So that girl is that vulnerable place, and having a community of girls and women that we can inspire and encourage. That is what I do. Like, I can do that in my sleep because I have a
Awesome.
passion to see other women and girls, you know, be inspired, man, and just being able to know that they can accomplish whatever it is that they want, and having that support system, you know. So that's what
Right.
Grace Girl does, and that's who I am.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Um,
Thank you.
well, what I will now, tell me something. Tell the audience something that you would like them to know about you that they cannot pick up and read in a book, they cannot see on the internet. Tell us something about you that you want everybody to know.
Um, I know that love is what I talk about. I think that for me, as loving as I am and love people, I'm also sometimes an introvert. Sometimes I'm an introvert. I can be home with my family and just sometimes spend that quiet time to myself. And also, I think a lot of people don't know that I'm an artist at heart. I
All right.
used to be a rap hip hop artist, and
All right.
actually, you can still purchase the single on iTunes, right? 2006, I did a compilation. My rap name was Miss Chancellor, and so
Oh,
we did a rap. I was actually working on my own CD when Hurricane Katrina hit. I am from New Orleans, Louisiana, and so the label that I was with, they did a compilation in 2006 just to kind of continue to generate revenue and all those things. And you can still purchase it on iTunes. Squirrel Click Movers was the name of the compilation CD. So I'm an artist at heart. I love music. I think music speaks to the soul, it's soothing. So I
yes, it
love
is.
music. And so a lot of people may see me and they be like, what? She used to rap? She was like, yes, 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 ma'am.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
was the
Ain't no wrong with
bomb too,
that.
right? But God switched it over, and I haven't looked back. I thank God for those years and all of the wonderful people that I met in the music industry. But God had something different for me. So yes, I
All
was an
right.
artist. That's something a lot of people, you if you read my bio, you may see it, but I don't have it everywhere. So
Yeah.
that's something I think a lot of people would find very unique about me.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on with me. And before we go, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, with your projects, your podcasts, and all that.
Great. Well, thank you so much again, Miss Tammy. You are such a gracious and lovely and beautiful, mind
Thank
you,
you.
host. Thank you. Well, the new book collaboration that I'm working on called Stepping into Your Territory, second edition, will be coming out this month. It should be this month, sometime in October. My website is www.gracegirl.org.
Right.
You can go on my website. You can read a little bit about me and what I do. You also will be able to purchase the book from
Awesome.
my website. So once that's up, you can go ahead and purchase the book. Also on Facebook, my Facebook is Kenya C. Williams. My Twitter is Being Love. I'm sorry, Being Love, LUV, in action. And then
Mhm.
my other Instagram is The Agent of Love. That's my personal Instagram, The Agent of Love. And
All
then, of
right.
course, we have um, the Being Love in Action podcast on Instagram as well. My
Okay.
podcast, you can link up on it on Podbean app, Apple, iTunes, as well as iHeart Radio. If you go to
All
my
right.
Facebook page, the links are on my page. So there are links for my podcast is on my page. And also, I didn't say this, you can also check me out. I've been featured in 3 magazines since
Awesome.
I was in the MTM Modeling Magazine
All
September
right.
issue. So MTM Modeling Magazine, you can actually check them out.com. And I was featured as a co-author for the book. And then September 18th, man, I was interviewed, an exclusive interview by Sheen Magazine. So you can go to sheenmagazine.com, which is an online, totally digital magazine where I was interviewed, an exclusive interview. And I was so excited about that interview because I didn't know that my favorite brandy was on the cover of the magazine that I was in as well. So that was awesome. And then also the Greatness Engineering Magazine, I was just featured on that October, I think it was 13th, that magazine was released. And all of these magazines are international. And I'm just excited, man, about what God is doing. I'm very humbly excited and just grateful. And I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for highlighting myself and all of the other beautiful women that's part of the Stepping Into Your Territory second edition book collaboration. So thank you so much, Miss Lily.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I mean, I just want to say anything that God has his hands on is never going to be little. Everything that God has his hands on is always going to be big. So as long as you allow God to lead you and you be obedient to God, it's going to always be big. It's never going to be little. He doesn't do nothing on a small scale at all. So thank you so much, Kenya. I can't wait to see this collaboration come to fruition and come out. And I'm definitely going to be following you. And just thank you so much for coming on and blessing me with your presence. You have a
thank you, Miss Tammy. And listen, you said a mouthful. Nothing that we do is little. So you continue to plow, you continue to sow, because watch this. I see your show in the future. See, this is just a setup, honey. God is already preparing you for the lights, camera, action. You see how you showed me how to make sure the light, it's just a matter of time. So you continue to be inspired, inspiring to others as well as myself. You continue to do what God has purposed you to do, because guess what? Greatness is your portion, okay? Thank you again. Love you, woman of God. Thank you for what you're doing. And I look forward to maybe one day meeting you face to face.
Yes,
where are you? Where are you located? Where are you located?
Texas. I'm right by Prairie View. Hempstead, Texas. I'm right by Prairie View. Familiar with Prairie View. I'm 15 minutes from there.
Okay, so I travel to Houston, sometimes. So hopefully, we get past this. Well, we will get past this pandemic.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll get a chance to meet you when I come to Houston.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Miss Kenya. And I receive all that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.